All right. Good morning. We got a good one here for you guys today. I wanted to say good morning and thank you guys for tuning in. We're Talk Visual Live. We're downtown Homestead. We're here today to leave some crumbs for the next generation. We have a very special guest. Today you're going to hear from, some people, and we're going to hear from some audience out there that's going to try to chime in to say some stuff. We have a very special guest, guys. Today, our guest is a 20-year veteran. He's from the United States Army, retired. I guess he had to slow down at some point, right? So helping him by introducing him, I would like to bring in my right hand, Mr. Julio Guzman.
Thank you, D. Good morning to everybody. And understand, guys, that here on Talk Visual 305, we sit down with community leaders, the change makers, with public servants that are doing a great job in South Dade. And today I have the honor to welcome Justin Karalfa. He is a 20-year veteran of the United States Army. He's been assigned overseas in Suriname. He's also spent some time at U.S. Southern Command, but retirement wasn't the end of his service. It became the beginning of a new chapter. Today, Justin serves as the commander of the Veteran of Foreign Wars Affairs Post 4127 here in Homestead, where he's leading the efforts to support local veterans while working to strengthen our community's longest-standing veterans organization. He even has two of his members here. They're not in the camera, but we've got Pedro and Jose that are here supporting him. So please help me give a warm welcome to Justin Karalfa.
Well, good morning all. This is Mr. Justin. Good morning, and how are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Demmetrius and Julio. I appreciate you calling me a special guest. It's very humbling.
Well, good, man. So welcome to our podcast. As we say, we like to bring those on who are doing great things in the community. We want to say thank you, give you your digital flowers for all the things you have done, all the things you are currently doing, and all the things you will continue to do in the future. So welcome to our podcast. So give us a good insights of you. So welcome.
Thank you, sir. So a little bit about me?
Yes, sir.
To make it short, I was born and raised in a small town called Port Charlotte, Florida. And if anyone knows anything about Port Charlotte, Florida, it's just an old retirement town, which is, there's really no jobs or anything like that. So I knew that I wanted to do something different. So that was my motivation to really join the Army. My family, I wasn't grown up, in a real patriotic home or anything like that. But I was inspired immediately by the United States Army and the values. I gained that patriotism throughout my career. Cool, and I just knew I just wanted to do something different. I joined the Army as an HR person. And if anyone knows, they're kind of, not the highest tier.
Right.
But I knew I also wanted to do something amazing with that.
Right.
So within that, I joined the 75th Ranger Regiment. I spent some time with them. I was airborne, jumping out of airplanes. I served sometimes as a courier, delivering highly classified material, which they're able to get my top secret clearance, which has kind of paved the way and served a lot with 18th Airborne Corps, which one is the most premier airborne units the Army has to offer, and finally ending it here in Southcom. So I will say, none the least, and that's where I came here to retire here in Homestead.
Cool, man.
So, so during your time, obviously you've had the opportunity to. You could have done anything you want. I mean, you're a young man out there. You chose the Army. What made you choose that branch?
So actually interesting. There's an inner rivalry through all the branches, right? And I wanted to be a Marine.
Yeah. All right.
And that's what that's what motivated me. I get bought into all the commercials and stuff like that. So I met this really awesome Marine that told me to show up at his office at 3 p.m. here in Florida. And he no-showed me. I stayed there by his door, and some Army guy came out and says, "Hey, you want water?" And I wish I had a more inspiring story. But I sat down and talked to the guy, and I think all branches are the best. I know that there's inter-rivalry, but every career within each branch is going to set you on a path to success, no matter what it is.
Correct.
So.
At what age did you join?
I joined at 20.
Okay.
I know a lot of people join at 18, but 20 was my age. I had to figure it out a little bit, and I think that gave me a little bit of a better insight too, and appreciate the military a lot more as well, with a little bit more maturity than your average 17, 18-year-old kid.
I was reading some of the information you had on your bio, and you said just a few days after becoming commander, you were helping a veteran suffering from PTSD. And it was a traumatic brain injury, and who was at risk of losing his home, and he couldn't feed his family. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys helped out that family and what the VFW and Homestead did?
Oh man, absolutely. So let me just back up. I'll say within about 2 weeks ago, I've just been formally elected as the commander of Veterans of Foreign War.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. Right here in Homestead.
That's it.
So it is your local post. It is the friendly post.
Yes.
Right.
And I got to see behind the curtain almost immediately.
Yeah.
And what I'm finding is that this organization has so many members that are just emptying out their pockets just to keep the lights on.
Right.
And I will say that, to be a member, you have to have served in combat. You have to have served overseas, receiving some type of imminent danger pay or hazard duty pay. So all these guys are all heroes in their own right.
Right.
And they want to have a club that they can go to and call their home.
Yeah.
And but unfortunately, we're struggling a little bit.
Right.
And the reason we're struggling is because we take care of each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, when we have a veteran in distress, when we have a veteran in need, we do everything that we can to lay out a plan and to give out. And with the VFW here in Homestead, we're actually not doing that great financially.
Okay.
So luckily here we have our Vice Commander, Pedro Obando, and Jose Chirinos, which is the Senior Vice. And we all sat down almost immediately. Pedro took on the call, and we call it a trio.
Yeah.
That's
Every
right.
single morning.
Dynamic trio.
Yeah, small but mighty.
That's right. That's it.
And we all just sat there and just tried to figure out how are we going to help this guy. We're struggling ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was really cool. We brought him in, and that day, I know it was a hectic day. We're trying to really network. We had a whole bunch of meetings going on, but we made sure that we sat him down and we talked to him and figured out his need.
Right.
He needed a roof. He couldn't help his family. He had 2 beautiful daughters.
Right.
And we said, hey, listen, this home is your home. You're a veteran. He didn't even know this place existed. And we brought him in. We talked to him. We figured out everything he needs. And one great thing that there are a lot of veteran programs that are here to help this guy.
Right.
But we had a guy named Billy. He works for the city.
Billy, he works in the
Billy Branch.
electrical department.
Yeah,
Okay.
really good guy. He
Yeah.
paid for his membership.
He's awesome, man. We love him.
Right. Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, super
Shout out
awesome.
to Billy, man.
Yeah, shout out to Billy.
Always shows love, man.
That's
Also
it.
a veteran.
One love, as you say, right?
He was Navy, so
Don't hold it against him. Don't hold it against him.
No, but it was really cool just to see the veteran community just scrap up some cash to be able to just help out this guy and give him a membership, give him a home, and give him a whole bunch of resources. Big shout out to Pedro. Really took on the undertaking on that task and built.
So
all this stuff.
here on the podcast, we want to use the platform to bring awareness to things that are a leading cause or things that we could help out with. And if you're saying that the VFW is struggling financially, we want people to be aware. But before people want to give, some people don't truly understand what VFW is, and you can help us understand, because now you just said that people that are part of that organization have all been
served.
deployed and have served in a capacity that is traumatic sometimes when you get back. And veterans, for lack of a better terms, a lot of times get overlooked or they don't get the service that they need. So we want to help bring awareness to that. So just tell us, any branch of the military can join the VFW.
Right.
Yeah, so it's always open for all branches. And yeah, I think that is one of our struggles, is that we're out there, and one thing about veterans is they don't boast.
Right.
They don't ask for someone to thank them for their service.
Right.
Actually, if you ask them, they'll be like, no, I don't really
Humbled.
need that. Very humbled.
Right.
So I'm noticing that there isn't much of, we're not doing much outreach, letting people know and let them know, letting our community know that these places have a home. And yeah, so there was another question that you asked me. I want to make sure I address that.
No, it's like, for example, if I were to ever walk into the VFW, I know I can get some real good stories about what some of those
guys
veterans have been through.
Right.
And then some of them can get very traumatic, and they're dealing with that on a daily basis.
Right.
So bringing awareness, and if there's anything that this platform can do to help the VFW, that's what we want to do today.
Right. 100%.
Absolutely.
And we want to push some resources and help the outreach in any way we can, so that not only people in Homestead, but people all in South Dade and throughout the state of Florida can all participate in this effort to help the veterans.
Right. And I think our local government in certain capacity should be able to do some stuff too for our locals too. I mean, especially your office, luckily is downtown.
Yeah,
right.
we're
Considered
close.
downtown Homestead, and I'm sure there's some things that some of the organizations can do. We'll definitely look into that too. We'll help shine the light because you guys are our hero. For those of us who are out there that love to give back, and I love giving back, so definitely we would like to figure out a way to kind of pour into you guys because you pour into us when you were out there fighting for our freedom.
I appreciate that.
So I mean, while serving, I mean, it shows that you're in Suriname. How was life out there?
Oh yeah, Suriname was a really good, interesting tour. So I was working with the State Department, and what we did was what we call security cooperation. Yeah. We see the needs of the people, and we see the needs of the military, and we give them training and necessities, equipment, and stuff like that. And I got to meet a lot of great friends from foreign nations and partner nations, and I still keep in contact today. And it was really interesting because culturally we may be different, but we're all humans and we all have our own struggles.
100%.
And that was a fulfilling assignment that I had with serving in Suriname. And and it was as a military liaison with the State Department.
I understand that.
But if I could back up a little bit, because you hit on some things about the VFW, and most people, they look at the VFW as a bar.
Right.
Right. That's what most people
Initially, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and I think that is kind of the vision that we need to get away from, because when people drive by, and it even does kind of have that old bar look,
It's a rustic look.
Yeah, and I don't know what we really need to do, but when you walk in, we do have a lounge, we do have a bar, but it's not meaning to, and our mission statement is. What was it? No one does more for veterans. Right. So that is what our mission statement is. When you walk in, we're trying to raise money to assist the next person. So that's the focus that we're trying to shift with the new vision with the new officers. We're really just trying to get that inside building self-sustaining, and then we focus more on outreach. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for donors. Good jam.
Correct.
I'll back up a little bit. So as the VFW, the new vision is that we're actually looking for sponsors. We're looking for donors. We're looking for volunteers.
Right.
We're looking for members.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're lacking.
Right.
So once we build up the internal governance of that building, then we can start focusing on that piece.
Now, I remember when the club that Demmetrius and I are part of, the Rotary Club, we used to have our weekly meetings at the VFW, which they have great food there, by the way, as well. If people that don't know,
that's it.
You guys might want to stop by and have some great food at the VFW. But
no, you got to say the wings.
The wings are at the American Legion, but the American Legion is amazing.
And the steak too.
The steak night is at the VFW on Thursdays. Taco Tuesdays. Just start on those.
Better get
nights,
good food.
You kind of have people come to church for the food, right?
Right.
You come on Taco Tuesday or Steak Thursday, you won't be disappointed.
Right.
But I think the Homestead has a great opportunity to invite people to come visit the VFW, almost as if it were a historical museum, right? Where you can read about some really incredible people that have been part of the organization or that are still part of the organization, and make it a memorable experience for the people that may not, have ever walked in there. So maybe connecting with local government and saying, okay, there's the historic museum, which is right next door to here. Making the VFW part of that circuit. And then, when there's field trips for kids, or when people are interested in coming to downtown Homestead, hey, they've got another location to go to. And then you guys start to, make it conducive for that customer or that person that's visiting to read about you guys. Because I'm sure there's a ton of interesting stories.
Oh, that touches my heart, because you're bringing in visions that I never even thought of, and that's amazing.
And those are the kind of things that, being on a platform like ours, we want to make sure that, A, we see what you have going on. We can help promote and contribute to those things that you guys have going on. So any brainstorming, any idea, any think tank. The schools now with the summer camps that's happening, even when the summer camps are over with, I think they should have a field trip. All the schools should understand they're only free because of the things you guys have done. Period.
Yeah.
So any school, in every school, that should have not even been a conversation. It should be automatic. And I think that as time progresses, the light is being shined. So I think that they can definitely make some adjustment to allow you guys to come to them at the school in the beginning, but have them come to where you guys are. I'm not sure if they're going to want them at the bar, but you can also go into the setting of whatever that is. They'll work the logistics out. Our job is to create that crumb. And
No,
then
for
you'll
sure.
figure out the logistics of it. But most importantly, I think that you're onto something when you said that's important for that to happen. So
and
maybe
similar-
take that as an action item.
No, absolutely.
Similar to how many people think of Arlington Cemetery, right, in DC.
Yeah.
Similar to how people think of the unmanned tomb, the guard of the unmanned tomb. That is an experience that people want to go see, right? So if we think high level like that, and all right, we're not in DC, we're in Homestead, you know, we've got our own unique character, but we somehow start to think and
Be the first.
more or less
Absolutely.
to try to get there,
Right.
and then slowly we take small steps forward, and then it becomes an experience for the visitors. So I've been to Henry Flagler Train Museum. My son loves trains, right? So we go to West Palm Beach, and we went to that train museum, and I'm like, what a beautiful place, and the history that we got of Henry Flagler and what he did throughout his life, and all the what he contributed to railroads.
Right.
That kind of similar mentality on when I walk into the VFW, I'm gonna get
experience.
some real stories of what happened in the place.
The wow effect.
No, for sure. I like that, yeah, because
Yeah.
I think that the VFW can definitely bring on that legacy. And I know that you're giving us just a fireworks of ideas between me and the VFW officers.
But we're just throwing darts at the board. It's up to you guys to understand what you like, right?
Yeah, actually, one of our biggest programs that we even have is Voice of Democracy, where we have the kids compete with creating an essay, and we send them out to be able to articulate that as well.
yeah?
Yeah, no, it's an amazing program, and it's for a youth program. It's very.
So middle school, high school,
It is high school. I did bring my vice commanders in, so.
Right.
middle school, high school, they all produce essays.
Yeah.
And then that is a kind of a contest as to
Yeah,
who produced the
exactly.
best essay.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
what-
where
and
do
what-
they go? Where,
Washington?
They go somewhere.
They go all the way to the top.
They go to the
Wow.
top, yeah.
All the way to-
Yeah,
okay.
it goes through a process of elimination.
Right.
And whoever has the best essay, or there's the Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen, I think it is.
Yeah.
And so they go ahead and start at the bottom. They do at the local level, and then they go to the state level, and then they go national.
You just keep climbing.
And they keep climbing. And
Wow.
So we had a runner-up this year
Okay.
that went all the way to the state.
Wow.
I don't think it went national, but we had a nice one
Right.
this year that went.
Right. The impact was felt.
Yes, because the essays that they write are very. It really shows what they feel.
Yeah. So it's touching. It's very touching. Emotional.
It's an emotional moment.
Very good, man.
We
We're good.
appreciate you sharing that with us, man. We appreciate it.
That's really good.
Very good. So as we talk more about the VFW, I mean, what else can we do? I mean, what else can this platform do for you guys? I mean, not just the platform here, but our audience that's listening there. As we speak to them directly, we all can use some light. You know
No,
what I mean?
for sure, yeah. And I think that every single one of us, we have unlimited, or we have limited
Right.
resources, time, money, and energy. You know, so if there's even a small ask, you know, we are trying to expose ourselves through Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Nextdoor, and you know,
Okay.
page. Jose said we need to get on TikTok, so
Right.
we're going to be on TikTok.
Well, you're
pretty
on
soon.
today.
Yeah. So a simple like,
Right.
a share,
That's it.
a comment. You know, that goes a long way too, because we're putting out some really good information.
Understood. But most importantly, guys, I mean, as we're in a digital age, we need you to log on, to your site,
Yes, sir.
and subscribe, because therefore the younger generation, they're more digital now. It's so to connect with them, you reach them through these platforms, and then they can kind of, okay, let's stop in and see what's going on this particular day. If you have a special day of the week that they can come in, is there any day that they're closed? Is that ever closed other than?
So Mondays is our only day closed.
Okay, that's the prep day.
Just going to say it bluntly,
Right.
we're making business.
Right.
Yeah.
We want to bring back Mondays.
Right.
And we're even in discussion on closing other days.
Okay.
So do we run, fight, or hide? You
Right,
know?
right.
So, and I think that's really the real conversation that we have. And as of right now, Monday's closed.
Understood.
If we can,
Keep open
bring-
7
yeah.
days.
Well, all you guys know how to do is fight.
Yeah, that's it. yeah, we've been fighting on
The
it for
other two are not enough.
Exactly.
Well, there should be some type of grant that can be written that allows you guys to keep your lights on or keep your stuff done. I mean, is there any grant writers in the house that simply can?
Well, is it a
Run out there.
501
C19.
501 C19?
Yeah,
Okay.
so and it's really very similar. They fall under the same lines of the law.
Right.
Just 19 just comes in with just a little bit more requirements. That 75% of the membership has to be veterans.
Okay.
You
Well,
know,
I think that's a checkbox they easily. Right?
Yeah, we're in there. We made
You know?
it.
So for the audience, anybody that writes grants and has got some time,
That's it.
the VFW can use your help or just some insights on how they can acquire some of these grants. I did want to circle back, Justin, and ask, when was the VFW established? When was the Veteran Foreign Wars?
The Veterans Foreign Wars. It was back in World War One, or before World War One, I believe. But
Okay.
we were mustered here in Homestead in 1942.
Five.
We just had
that
a birthday.
that means-
We're old.
We're old. Because we go back to, World War One, World War Two,
Right.
Cold War. There's so many things. If a new veteran comes to Homestead, how does he connect with you guys? What is the process on him making the first connection, and who is that with?
Yeah, so there's many different avenues. My recommended approach would be to come in person.
Right.
Okay.
Come and meet your fellow brothers and sisters that you have served along with. That way you can see it,
Right.
You don't sign up in church online, right? So,
Yeah, you should at least.
yeah, you could. But, you really got to come in and experience it. But
Right.
we do have online applications and everything like that. When you do just a little bit of admin, when you do sign up online, you sign up as VFW as a whole.
Right.
Right? So we want you here as our team. And
This
how
chapter.
This
4127.
chapter,
Is that-
4127. That's
That's right.
correct.
Post.
Yeah.
That's it. See
The
that?
best post, the friendly post.
Here.
And once you come in, you actually get invited to our meetings. You can vote, and that's where we really make our impact to the community, because we discuss on what is our next lines of effort. What are we going to tackle this month? And we have a meeting once a month, and we just talk about what we feel is important and how we're going to affect the community.
Are there a lot of chapters throughout the state of Florida?
They are. I want to say that there was one in Key Largo. I don't know exactly the number, but they were a struggling post just like ours.
Okay.
And what they did was they leased out to a company that turned it into a speakeasy.
Okay.
And now that building is prospering and they're doing very well.
All right.
I would like to keep our posts, in a
right.
genuine form as possible.
Right.
But the sky's the limit. There's so many different options that we can take. But
And the attendance of the veterans that you have, for example, Rotary's got 60 members, but the people that go to lunch every Wednesday, it's like 25, 30 members, right? Is that similar with the VFW? You've got a large membership, but only X amount participate regularly?
Yeah, but that's typical, right? I mean,
is it typical? Yeah. So we actually have 400 members.
Wow.
Or up to, I don't know. It's somewhere in
Right,
there. I've been in the sea for 1 week. I'm still learning a little bit.
That's it.
But we're up there. And we probably have about 20 members show up. But what I'm noticing, and I think that we're aligned in this vision, is that we need to find and utilize efficiency tools on how to communicate properly,
Right.
Okay.
even to our own members.
a check-in.
Yeah, and there's so many different, pieces of technology that we have right here
of course.
that, we're not utilizing, and I think that that's something that we can definitely do better. And you will see
Right.
we will do better.
Well, in time, I mean, obviously I've seen you in other capacities. You've done very well. You're very technical, so you'll have it up and running and shining bright or brighter than it is today. One of the things that, as we say, what are some of the spotlights there? I mean, obviously, the major ask is to how do we can pour back into. Is there any other, the Freedom Walk, right? I think that's a big thing for you guys. That's coming up. Can you shine some light on that? Can you tell us a little more?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is the direction we really want to start focusing more on, events.
Right.
Because we do bring the community together for the Freedom Walk. And we did just have our first huddle discussion on how we're going to make this event better.
Right.
And so I don't know if you know, but we have the VFW and then we have the auxiliary.
Okay.
And we're, just family members. We come together and we discuss how we accept each other.
I don't understand the difference between the two.
Right.
Yeah, actually, so we all fall under the same umbrella.
Right.
And we're a great oiled down machine.
That's right.
And this particular is ran by the auxiliary. And the auxiliary is family members of VFW members.
Okay, now I understand. Now I understand.
And they do an amazing job every single year.
Right.
And then, and that's probably another organization that we don't spotlight that well,
Where are they under the same roof as you guys?
Yeah, they should.
So they're the wives, brothers, sisters, cousins.
Absolutely.
All hands on deck.
Of the
And
veteran.
a lot of times they're the ones that really
Right,
hold it
right,
together.
right. Well,
you know?
they're the
They're
glue.
the ones running the kitchen.
Yeah.
A lot of the bartenders.
Well, shout out to them, right?
Yeah, shout out to auxiliary. They
Definitely,
just
man.
do an amazing job, and they're going through their elections this year
Okay.
too. So
Well, good
they're
luck
gonna
there.
be new form of officers to be announced here in the upcoming months.
So tell me a little about, one of the other things that you guys do or are doing is the parade. How's that?
Yeah, actually, the Veterans Day Parade, we are in collaboration with a lot of the great organizations. I don't want to name them because I might miss them all, but you've seen the flyers and they're out there.
Of course.
We hold a small piece on that, but we discussed, we had our first meeting at the VFW on steak night, and that was a really busy night. It was really good, and I'm very optimistic that this Veterans Day Parade is going to be a big one.
I do have a question for you. The 250th birthday is coming up, right? And that's going to be held at the Speedway. You guys going to be, you spoke with the city as far as being a participant of that. That's 250 years. It's going to be a very, very big event. I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 persons. I don't know how big it's scheduled to have a large audience out there by the track. And I think that you guys should be an automatic. I think you should get with the city and find out how that can all happen. Any type of movement that's happening, you guys should really be tagged to be on their vendors list. And you should be comped, in my opinion.
Be part of that lineup, right?
Be a part of that lineup, and all things City of Homestead, because you're getting in front of all generations, including some of the vets that doesn't know you exist here, or maybe do.
Well, absolutely, and July 4th is a very meaningful day for veterans.
Correct.
And what we wanted to do is we wanted to collaborate with the American Legion. The American Legion is going to have their event on July 4th.
So joint forces.
A joint force. The VFW is going to close their doors and going to run side by side with the American Legion and run an amazing event. And it's also going to be aligned with the city. So we're actually going to start opening our doors at 12. We're going to have a formal portion at 2, and we're going to kind of start pushing people out, so they can also attend the city, because we didn't want to be in competition with the city.
Understood.
And we want to support their efforts as well. I think a lot of their stuff is going to start in the afternoon. We're having our formal stuff at 2, and then we can start pushing people out to enjoy the city too.
So what you should have done was have a big tent, a beautiful tent with a nice backdrop, and everybody comes and you have all the good stuff to eat on that day. And I think that you have every single human coming to that nice tent that you guys. The food is really good, guys. I'm telling you, the food is good.
Oh, you're talking about at the city?
Well,
I would love to.
I wanted our audience to know, since you mentioned American Legion.
Yeah.
What is American Legion, and how is it different from the VFW?
Oh, okay. Great question. So one thing I did not say also in the introduction is that I am also a vice commander for the American Legion as well. I aspired to serve in many organizations as soon as I retired.
You're also part of the MAC.
I am part of the MAC. Let me back up a little bit more.
That's it.
As I was retiring, I thought I was going to retire and enjoy the beautiful Homestead sun.
Right.
There was a man by the name of Jake Jacobson, and if you know that name,
May he rest
may he rest in peace.
Right.
And he talked to me one day. He goes, "Hey, you want to do some volunteer work?"
Yeah,
And I
sound
said,
like
"Yeah,
it.
sure, yeah, you know." And I just went to one meeting and got involved with the MAC,
Yeah.
and these guys mentored me all the way up into the president, and I think that was really kind of set the tone,
yeah.
you know. And then American Legion asked me to join, be an officer, and they put me to the top, straight into
Cool,
the vice
man.
commander, and then we went to the VFW. I wasn't even an officer, and they put me straight into the commander position.
That goes
Wow.
to show
No, it's
everybody
super-
sees your leadership
That's it.
skills.
That's it.
That is amazing,
That's it.
but if only they saw behind the curtain. I'm just another man struggling like everybody
But
else. You know, I'm
that's
just a
it.
guy trying to do good for my community.
Well, it's in the heart, man.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
you know.
100%. That is one thing.
Is
that's
that the
true.
saying, service above self or self?
Yeah.
Is that the term?
Yeah, and you asked about the American Legion,
Right.
and the American Legion motto is serving those that have served. You know, and that is where their passion is. And just like I said, with when we compare 501c3s, the American Legion and the VFW are 501c19s.
Okay.
Same thing. We have very similar missions.
Yeah.
Sometimes we cross paths. Some people may even interpret that as competition. And if there is competition, it's positive competition.
Right.
It should always be positive
Yeah.
competition.
The end result is a good one.
Like if I raced you to the end
Right.
of the street,
That's
positive
right.
competition
Positive.
is we run and we shake hands, say, "Hey, that was
Without
pretty
me
good."
tripping you, right?
Yeah, that would be negative competition, right? So,
That's it.
so as long as it doesn't cross over
Yeah.
into
Right.
we tripping each other and we're trying to take each other's,
Legs out.
yeah, no, absolutely. So I believe that we have a great, working relationship.
Very good.
Good leaders collaborate.
Well,
Absolutely.
There's a lot of collaboration that happens. Now, another question that many people ask me is, when it comes to veteran hospital, I mean, there's not a whole lot of positive information that's out there about veteran hospital, and I think even people from the Keys have to drive way
up
up
there.
to downtown Miami. Is that the same thing you get from the members in your club?
Yeah, I will say that is a topic of discussion. I have to say that I'm not an expert on VA operations or veteran affairs, and I don't want to speak negatively on the VA because I'm optimistic that they probably feel that they serve,
Yeah.
and they probably work very hard.
Right.
But yeah, I do hear the complaints with the veteran community, and I know there's been a lot of discussions
Right.
on bringing a VA hospital that was led by former Councilman Tom Davis
Right.
to bring something down here. The last time I spoke with him, he was still continuing on in those efforts.
Which I think he should
Right,
continue.
I think so. I mean,
and I think that would be
especially if you
very
live in the
good.
Keys, that to come drive all the way up the north, and I think they should bring it here. It'll be centrally. It'll be better. I'm sure that conversation, if it's not, it should be. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and in my opinion, I know that the VA has assisted me with every claim that I have. There, just like any hospital, things could be a little slow. Paperwork could get lost.
Yeah.
But one thing that I personally utilize, and maybe this might be helpful for other vets, is just utilize their virtual options as much as possible. I'm a very busy guy as well,
Right.
so I try to utilize their virtual
Got
online
it.
options.
Got it.
Right.
Interesting stuff, man. So the VA's got a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And first, we want to say thank you for your service.
Right.
Thank
100%.
Jose. Thank you, Jose, for
Thank
your
you.
service.
Thank all
Thank you,
of you.
Pedro, for your service. Thanks for being here.
Right.
And Demmetrius, we got some work to do
100.
with outreach and helping the
100%.
VFW.
Yeah.
So, in closing, Justin, anything that you want our audience to know, anything that they can help out with, other than the things you've already mentioned about the VFW?
Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely. So I know that someone is probably watching this, and maybe they're sitting on their couch, maybe they're at their job, and more in line with leaving the next breadcrumbs.
Right.
All these organizations are leaving their own legacy in their own part, right? This is the book that we are writing.
Right.
And more and more we are in a digital age.
Yeah.
Right.
Previously we would have to find old Baptist records or records from coming on a boat, and that's how we learned about our ancestors and why they came to this land. But we're in a digital age where people are just going to be able to control F,
Yes.
search your name. Who was my grandfather?
Right.
What organizations did they serve in?
Right.
What did they do? Those things are going to be very empowering to your future generation.
Right.
So what are you doing? What are you doing to help your community?
Right.
In whatever aspects, and there's so many different organizations that are out there
Right.
that they can just be involved in.
So are you leaving it open for people that want to volunteer? They can come help you guys out? You
Absolutely.
don't have to be a veteran to be a part of the VFW?
100%.
So if they wanted to reach out to you guys, can you tell us how can they reach you?
Come down to the post.
Sure.
Reach out us on Facebook.
And that's
Instagram.
post 4127 in Homestead.
Yes,
Which
sir.
is right behind the
Google.
old City Hall. All right,
Right.
right
Yeah.
behind the old City Hall, next to the old Captain Car Wash.
Yeah.
Right, right on.
That's
Flag
landmarks there for you, right?
Right.
Very good, man. Well, it's been a pleasure. This was fun for us, and also we learned a lot. It was educational for us because, again, when most thought of the VFW, we wanted to make sure that now we understand a little bit more so we can share that message. But most importantly, we have to understand the mission, right? Now we know what the mission is, to help bring some funding back there, and also figure out who's out there that can simply help. Someone is watching that can definitely, you can be anonymous, guys. I mean, they'll accept that check no matter what, So please reach out, touch somebody, say hi. We appreciate you. Thank you for leaving this crumb, Justin. We appreciate all of you guys. One love to you and the team, okay?
And thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Awesome, man. It's
All
a
the
pleasure.
best.
Good.
All the best.
Without that, guys, we'll see you next time. Talk Vigil 305 signing out.